So can you all see my screen?
Yep, bisa.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, first of all, let me introduce myself a little. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Kusmono. I will be PERMIAS Nasional's upcoming year's president together with Harun as my VP. Maybe Harun, do you want to introduce yourself too?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Harun Ardiansyah. You can call me Harun. I'm currently residing in Illinois in UC, doing my PhD in nuclear engineering.
Yeah, and I'm doing business at UC Berkeley as an undergrad. I'm a rising senior. So it's nice to have all of you here today. Let's start the info session right away. So maybe starting off with our main goal for the year. So me and Harun actually has one big goal for PERMIAS Nasional, which is for PERMIAS Nasional to be the hub of collaboration. So if we could put our vision into a sentence, that would be to facilitate, elevate, and accelerate Indonesian students in the US in their academic, professional, and social aspects through a collaborative and growth mindset culture. And for our mission, we actually divided it into 4 aspects. We have the academics, professional, social, and cultural, which Harun will be explaining to you real soon.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Michelle. Untuk missionnya, we are from those vision tentang collaboration itu, we want to digest to 4 main ideas, 4 main missions yang kita bagi dalam 4 main cluster. Yang pertama itu academic, professional, social, and cultural. Dari sisi academic, we want to support Indonesian students in the US in achieving their academic goals through collaborative effort alongside academic stakeholders, both in the US and also in Indonesia. Untuk yang dari sisi professional, we want to equip the students' professional needs with all necessary networks and resources toward their career. For the social and cultural, we really want to cultivate an inclusive community that supports Indonesian students in the US while also maintaining core values of Indonesia by staying true to our roots and further promoting our culture. Ini kita nantinya akan coba jabarkan dalam semua departemen kita, dan semua departemen kita nantinya akan punya program masing-masing, dan kita bisa lanjut ke organizational chart kita sebelum kita dive into our departments. So next, Mish. Yeah, so this is basically what our organizational overview look like. So Michelle, as the president, is our head of everything. Then I'm the one yang akan assisting Michelle in anything that she seems necessary. Kita juga punya 2 secretaries yang ngebantuin kita for all administrative things. And then we have all 9 departments. We have finance department, community development, partnership, promotion and publications, academics, professional development, human resource and development, events department, and lastly, it's the new one, is digital communications. Kita bisa langsung run through all of them, kayak main functions, key programs, and everything. We can start with a few with Michelle.
Yeah, maybe just to add in a little, as most of you guys know, from the past year, we actually had 12 departments. So something new that we're doing this year is we're downsizing the cabinet, and we're changing our departments from 12 to 9. So a few departments we merged into one, and we also formed a few new departments, like Harun mentioned earlier. So the first department that I'd like to highlight today is finance. So for the finance department, we'll be responsible mainly for all of PERMIAS Nasional's cash flows. So that includes all treasury, budget allocations, sponsorships, and fundraising ideas. So the main beneficiaries for finance would be all of PERMIAS National directors. So the finance department will have to consult with each department for their needs, and from there allocate the appropriate budget. And then PERMIAS chapters would also be one of the main beneficiaries, just because this year we're planning to do a chapter loan program. So hopefully that follows through. And lastly, all Indonesian and US-based companies. So our key function would be to do internal monthly budget allocation, make fundraising strategies, and also work on the chapter loan program. And then next we have community development. So if you guys are familiar with Koordinator Wilayah or organizational development and the community and alumni outreach department from last year's cabinet, we're merging those three into one this year. So this will be one of the larger departments that we have. We call it the community development. So they will be responsible for all communications, engagement, and development between PERMIAS Nasional and all of Indonesian organizations in the US. And we want to maintain as close relationship as possible and foster a tight-knit community between all these organizations. So our key partners would be PERMIAS chapters, Indonesian diaspora organizations, and all inquiring and incoming students in the US. And then our flagship programs include PERMIAS chapter onboarding. We want to make sure that we can foster a really tight community by making sure all PERMIAS chapters are onboarded well and welcomed in the community. Also, we want to do something new this year. Hopefully, as we transition to in-person, we want to do PERMIAS chapter local gatherings. So this could be regional gatherings, let's say in LA, in SF, in Chicago, even in Seattle, in the Midwest, things like that. And then lastly, we have the regional teams with Koordinator Wilayah and also the PERMIAS syllabus to help with the onboarding. Next, we have partnerships. So partnerships will actually be responsible as PERMIAS Nasional's first external point of contact. Oh, sorry about that. First external point of contact. So the partnerships department will basically be handling all communications within all external organizations with the interest of collaborating with PERMIAS Nasional. So the main beneficiaries include Indonesian and US-based companies, Indonesian diaspora organizations, Indonesian organizations outside of the US, and the Embassy of Indonesia. Now, the key function for partnerships will of course be scouting year-long opportunities for PERMIAS Nasional. Kita mau kerjasama with as many organizations as possible. Kita mau bantu mereka in any way that we can. Let's say become media partners ataupun kolaborasi event. Kayak the events that we had last year was ticket.com. That was a really fun event where kayak participants were actually given incentives. Ada hadiahnya, ada gamesnya. So that was fun. Also, collaborations with IPA, with companies kayak BCA, BCG, where we collaborate and held our career fair. Also, one last partnership that we had was Lemonilo. They actually sent us a lot of Lemonilo, so that was really fun. And then chapters were given the incentive to promote Lemonilo by being creative, by dikirimin Lemonilo sebanyak-banyaknya. Yeah, so partnerships is also a fun department. And then next we have PNP, which of course, as everybody knows, is the face of PERMIAS Nasional. So PNP handles all the creative branding content, social media management. So the main function would be to create engaging content as much as possible and implement any marketing strategies. Jadi, if you guys see all our beautiful designs on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, semua itu all thanks to PNP. And even including our merchandise design and everything like that, that's all PNP's hard work, guys. And then flagship programs include Kata. If you guys are familiar with Kata, it's actually like sort of like a takeover where students in certain universities take over PERMIAS Nasional's Instagram and answer students' questions on the question box. And then something new that we had last year was Overheard PERMIAS. So people can submit any fun comments or anything that's within PERMIAS, terus di-upload to Overheard PERMIAS. So if you guys have not seen that yet, feel free to log on to Instagram and check at Overheard PERMIAS because it's actually quite funny, guys. Kayak lucu-lucu. You will find a lot of kayak funny comments, things like that. Terus the next thing that we're doing this year is we're gonna form LinkedIn groups, and then hopefully we'll also tap into the TikTok world. So PNP will now be TikTok famous, hopefully. And then lastly, we're gonna also focus on YouTube content. And then I think this is new. This is actually very new. So last year, if you guys are familiar, we had the tech department. But this year, we're changing that into digital communications because we are incorporating a few additional responsibilities for the tech team. So the digital communications department will focus on being the face of PERMIAS National in the World Wide Web. And then it combines the tech savviness of web developers and creative ideas of copywriters. So the key functions for the digital communications department is to develop and design and maintain PERMIAS National's website, and also be responsible for PERMIAS National's newsletters that you guys receive every month. So that would be the functions of the digital communications department. Maybe Harun can take over now.
Yeah, I can continue with another 4. Pertama dari sisi academics. So as the department title says, it handles all academic related events di PERMIAS Nasional. Hal yang baru yang kita mau highlight sekarang adalah kita nggak cuma mau nge-highlight Indonesian students in the US dari sisi research mereka atau dari sisi what they have done in terms of academics. Kita juga mau seeking collaborations with Indonesian National Research Center, which is BRIN, Badan Riset dan Inovasi Nasional, dan also Indonesian universities, either itu ya some bigger names like UI, ITB, UGM, or some other universities di Indonesia. Dan kita punya beberapa flagship programs dari sisi akademik sendiri. Yang pertama itu Inversi, di mana Inversi itu sebenarnya adalah event untuk para students di US yang dia punya riset yang topiknya menarik dan dia ingin berlatih untuk kayak science communicating the research, itu bisa lewat Inversi. Kita bahkan akan punya inversi pertama di periode ini di tanggal 5 Agustus. Topiknya tentang pemilu di Indonesia, so it will be fun knowing that in the next 2 years we will have our own general election. So stay tuned to PERMIAS to know that event tanggal 5 Agustus. Terus habis itu beberapa hal yang baru itu adalah kita kan sebenarnya dari sisi akademik kan ada beberapa quote-unquote pasar ya. Nah, jadi ada yang kayak apa itu namanya, teman-teman yang undergrad yang dia itu ingin transition to be a grad student gitu, dan mereka sebagian mungkin ada yang belum punya skill yang kayaknya baru tahu mereka perlu gitu. For me personally, in my experience, I don't know how to do data visualization or how to make GitHub, GitLab and everything. So we want to include that in our event sehingga kita mau bikin skill workshops. Itu yang dari sisi dari undergrad ke teman-teman yang mau transisi ke grad student. Selain itu kita juga ada yang namanya going to academia. Ini tuh untuk teman-teman yang utamanya yang grad students yang dia envision to be a professor either in the US atau di Indonesia. Jadi kita akan coba channel that into some sort of like webinar series or webinar series gitu, di mana kita ngundang kayak academia yang udah mungkin udah bisa dibilang tenure di either the US atau di Indonesia untuk sharing pengalamannya how they transition from grad school to academia. Habis itu yang menarik juga ada transfer portal, di mana kita juga mendengar keinginan gitu teman-teman yang utamanya dari mungkin mau transfer dari satu community college ke university atau dari satu university ke university yang lain. They need to have some sort of resource untuk mengetahui kayak kampus mana ya yang kira-kira sesuai dengan what I need gitu kan. So that's why we have what we call transfer portal. So it will be one of our event in academic part. And also lastly, we will have some collaborations with BRIN. Those collaborations probably like research and networking collaborations, like event collaborations. Then of course the beneficiaries dari academic itu ya Indonesian students, Indonesian universities, BRIN, and also all academia in the US, Indonesian academia in the US. Next one, we'll go to the professional development. It's like the other side of academia, so more of the career and professional part. Jadi professional development ini focuses on all career and professional related events, dan juga handle communication with Indonesian professional community. Tentu beneficiariesnya jelas ada Indonesian student di US. Kita juga tahu ada Indonesian Professionals Association atau APA yang udah kita ajak kerjasama dalam 2 tahun terakhir. kita akan lanjutkan kerjasama itu. Terus abis itu Indonesian based and US based company kita mau expand kegiatan career fair kita untuk apa itu namanya sebarin biar manfaatnya jadi lebih banyak, career fair-nya mungkin bisa jadi lebih rame. Aspiring student startup founders juga akan kita bikinin event sama Indonesian based VC yang kita akan ajak kerjasama. Dan karena beneficiaries-nya itu program unggulan kita itu pertama ada kita mau bikin online networking with professionals yang itu hopefully we can do it in September if our timeline is stick, karena we have a few things that we need to sort out first. Semoga September bisa jalan. Terus habis itu follow up dari online networking itu kita juga bakal ada career fair. Hopefully we can do it in the spring semester. We still don't have the exact date yet, tapi hopefully we can do it in spring. Nah, terus two new things yang baru dari PERMIAS Nasional in terms of professional development itu adalah Founders Forum satu, dan networking with VC itu basically we want to create a forum whereby all aspiring startups, student startup founders yang dari Indonesia itu ngumpul jadi satu, sharing resources. Mungkin kita akan juga bikin kayak pitch deck day atau pitch deck competitions atau co-founders matchmaking, dan tentunya nanti the idea is to have a networking session with VC yang akan kita coba accommodate. Itu untuk professional development, so it will be fun and hopefully it will be beneficial to all students in the US. Next, we have human resource and development. So HR ini mainly for internal purposes. So we want to make sure that the well-being of PERMIAS National officers are all good and all well maintained. Jadi mereka responsible untuk well-beingnya officers, PERMIAS National officers, dan mereka juga overseas recruitment. Sekarang juga yang lagi bikin recruitment itu HR. Terus abis itu evaluations and enrichment programs. Jadi kita tidak ingin di PERMIAS Nasional tuh kalian cuman kerja doang di PERMIAS. We hope we can give you something as PERMIAS National officers. Dan key functions-nya dari HR tentu mereka bikin recruitment. Terus ini juga yang menarik ada quarterly sharing session di mana kita ngumpul semua anggota PERMIAS jadi satu dan kita akan sharing, dan kita juga bakal ngasih some sort of seminars juga yang berguna untuk semua anggota PERMIAS. Ada juga officer evaluation social mixers. Jadi kita coba bikin kayak forum monthly forum di mana tiap departemen itu bisa mingle dengan departemen yang lain, karena being a US wide organizations it's very hard to connect with each other in person kan. So we hope with this social mixers we have like some connections in between some departments yang bisa kita konekin masing-masing. Juga kita berusaha untuk bikin internal retreat, ini untuk internal PERMIAS. So we will have some days di mana kita semua officers PERMIAS Nasional ngumpul di satu tempat and we will have fun, do some things in those retreat. Itu dari HR yang kita punya. Terus habis itu terakhir ini events. So as the name suggests, it's responsible for all social and cultural events di PERMIAS Nasional. We have 3 flagship programs, 3 big events that we want to hold this year. First up is e-sport competitions. Kita mau ngumpulin semua tim-tim e-sport di US, terus kita coba akan bikin sports competition. Terus habis itu sports cup. Bedanya itu adalah ini yang kalau sports cup itu in-person sport like soccer, badminton, and basketball gitu-gitu. Kita akan coba bikin in person probably in the fall. Probably in the spring. Dan juga kita ada yang kita bikin namanya itu Indocela. So basically it's like Indonesian festival that you guys might have heard di chapter kalian masing-masing. Cuma kita expand untuk seluruh US gitu. Jadi orang-orang yang merasa, jadi eventnya itu national scale, dan kita berharap ada Indonesian performance, Indonesian bazaar, terus kayak all things Indonesia in one day gitu. Dan tentunya kita berharapnya Indonesian student di US bisa benefit from those event, juga the officers, the chapters, the corporations, Indonesian and US-based corporations, and KBRI, KJRI, we hope they can give they can have the benefits of those events. So these are all our 9 departments. We have lots of exciting things to do, and we can go now the recruitment process, which Michelle can take over now.
Thank you, Harun. Yeah, so that was a little bit about each of our department's functions. So now I'm going to talk about the recruitment process. So as we posted on our Instagram, we have a few general requirements. So if you do want to join us as a PERMIAS National Officer, we require you to be a current Indonesian student in a US-based institution. That just means you're a student here in the US, but the requirement is that you will have to be enrolled until spring 2023. So let's say you're supposed to graduate earlier, but this fall maybe, then you won't be eligible to apply with us. And then, of course, we're looking for people who are committed to join for the whole administration. So PERMIAS Nasional is a 1-year commitment, and we expect all of our officers to deliver their best starting from August until the end of the term, which would be July. And then our deadline is approaching soon, which is July 26th. So we encourage you to fill out our application form as soon as possible. And if you guys have not opened it yet, actually our application form this year isn't as long and as lengthy to fill in. So it should be more convenient. We made it as convenient as possible for you guys. So hopefully you guys are more encouraged to fill in those applications faster. Okay. And here is our timeline. So today, we start today at our info session. It's July 23rd. Deadline is approaching soon for July 26th. And then by July 27th, expect to receive an email from our HR team for an invite to our first round of interviews. And then that interview will start from July 29th to August 2. And for these interviews, you'll be able to schedule your own. We'll be sending Calendly invites, and you guys will be able to schedule on your own. And it will be on a first come, first served basis. And then starting from August 3, you will be invited to the second round of interviews. And then those interviews will be held from August 4 to August 7. And then by August 9th, you'll be informed of all of the interview results. Expect to hear back from us through email. And then by August 12th, we expect to already onboard all of our officers. So that's a bit on our recruitment timeline. And then, yeah, that concludes all of today's info session. And then we'll be opening the floor to any Q&A.
Yeah, thank you, Michelle and Harun, for the presentation. There are so many exciting things, yeah. And yeah, we'll get on to the Q&A. I think there was one question from Nadira in the chat. Hi, I'm Nadira, incoming student at CMU. Hi, Nadira. Does the flagship program open to all Indonesian students in US?
Do you have any specific programs in mind, Nadira? Because basically most of our things are open to US Indo students sih. But particularly mungkin yang kayak dari HR, karena itu kayak mainly internal, those are probably not. But all of them should be available for all of us. Gitu.
If anyone has any more question, you can type it in the chat box or raise your hand, and yeah, we'll call you. You have a question from Brandon. Silakan, Brandon.
Hi, I hope you guys can hear me.
All good?
You good? All right.
Go ahead.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, I got a question real quick, because on the final part, you guys did say that this the recruitment process is only eligible for people who are enrolled for up until the next spring semester. Is that correct? 2023? Yeah, so I wanted to ask, because currently, in one way or another, I'm already graduated from community college, but I am taking an OPT program, which extends my stay as an F1 in the US till next year. And I'm planning to transfer to ASU, which is in Arizona State University. And I want to know if that falls into that category, or does that mean that I cannot apply for it? So,
Yeah. May I know when you'll be transferring, Brandon? Thank you for the question, by the way.
Mhm. Yeah, I know you're good. I'm planning to transfer around July, well, fall next year, basically. So that's when I'll be transferring to ASU. Which is, yeah, that's the plan. But since I have an OPT right now, because I've graduated from community college with an associate's, after that, I'm taking the OPT and everything. If everything runs well, my OPT runs up until June the 29th. So, which is next year.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. So if I understand correctly, you will be working for the next year, and then you'll be transferring into school starting from July next year then, right? So if that's the case, then I'm sorry to say that you won't be eligible to apply for PERMIAS National, as we are only recruiting students.
But
at
you will
the
be
moment.
eligible for next year, definitely.
Next year's administration.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, just wanted to get that out. So, all right. Thanks for clarifying.
Sure. Thank you. And we have another question kayaknya from Waskito. We will upload this into our YouTube channel. So we're not really sure whether we will hand out all of this presentation deck, but definitely this info session, all info session will be delivered in our YouTube channel probably tomorrow. So yeah, stay tuned on there. Yep, thank you for the question. Yeah, if anyone has any more questions, it's an open. David is raising hands. Go ahead,
Hi.
David. Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
All good.
Hi, my
Yes.
name is David. I'm a Midwest student from Wisconsin.
Good microphone, bro.
Thank you, man. I stream. So
Oh,
I'm from UWM Milwaukee.
Mhm.
I just want to ask a question because it's intrigued to me about the events that you guys are going to help with the esports section.
Mhm.
What are you guys planning to do with that, especially? Because I'm a huge esport fan, and also I'm a caster, so like that thing just intrigues me. So I just want to ask about what are you guys planning to do with the esports, because it's a major brand deal for mostly for about quite some times now, right? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for that question. And I'm so glad to see someone who's actually into esports. So apparently today, Bianca is here. So I think she is our director of events, and I think she'll be able to answer the question for us.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I couldn't turn my camera on. My name is Bianca. I'm the director of events for this PERMIAS Nasional. Thank you for the question, David. Actually, we are still planning for the esports and all of our events like sports and Indonesia. And we're so glad to hear that you are into esports. But for the overall like timeline for the esports, we are still like discussing it with our members. Jadi kita belum tahu, dan kita bakal kayak open poll, maybe like Valorant, Dota, atau other esports yang kira-kira banyak yang interested. Tapi we are still under planning. Jadi ya.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you, David, for the question. It's really
No
it will be interesting though, karena dan juga mungkin what I can add adalah probably we will held this event in the spring, so we still have pretty much time. Dan kita juga belajar dari pengalaman chapters lain juga, karena we know some chapters has already done it, so we might seek collaboration with all those chapters. Jadi it will be our one of the biggest event that we have say in this year. Yep.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Okay, we have a few incoming. From Aldo. Hi, how many people will be selected in each department? Thank you, Aldo, for the question. Probably I can answer this. Yeah. So one of the difference between this administration and the previous administration is we want to make it more efficient. Thus, we want to cap it to a certain number of officers. Jadi mungkin I don't think we can say for now kayak how many exactly. Tapi yang pasti akan lebih sedikit dari yang tahun lalu. For your information, tahun lalu itu total officers PERMIAS itu ada 120. So, but we want to reduce it. Probably I cannot say the numbers it. Ya, karena kita juga ngeliat kualitas kalian juga. So definitely just do your best. And if you have all the things that will be needed for us dan juga akan membantu PERMIAS Nasional, pastinya nanti akan kita consider. Gitu sih.
Yes.
Hopefully it answers. Sorry if it rounding around kayak we don't know exactly juga gitu. We're still in the interview process. We prefer quality over quantity. That's what's sure. Gitu.
Yes, I think that's what me and Harun is really emphasizing for the upcoming year. We really want to work with people who are very committed and willing to learn. So hopefully you guys, if you guys are planning to join PERMIAS National, you will be also benefiting from experience and actually learning from all our departments together. Then the next question we have from Rana. Is there any required target for each department's program in a year? For example, in academics, ComDev, and ProfDev, should they help all of the programs that are listed in a year, or maybe 2 out of 4? Oh, thank you. This is a really great question, Rana. So for the programs that we listed, these are our flagship programs. So these are programs that we have promised and we will deliver throughout the year. Some of those programs also include programs that are being continued from the past year, and we're actually even more open to additional programs. So hopefully we can deliver all of this for each department.
Ya, dan definitely ada juga tipe program yang dia itu recurring gitu ya. For example, untuk academics gitu kan, mereka punya inversi. Those inversi event is recurring in 2 weeks gitu. Jadi kayak tiap 2 minggu itu mereka kejadian terus. Jadi starting for this August 5, mereka akan ada terus inversi for the next year. Dan kita juga udah diskusikan juga kira-kira mungkin seberapa banyak inversinya harus dilakukan dan topiknya apa dan lain sebagainya. Itu udah we'll try to list it out as early as possible. We try to have all the timelines as early as possible. Jadi kayak bisa kelihatan gitu what are the targets. Kayak gitu sih.
Yeah, and maybe another thing to highlight is that, let's say for ComDev, we have one of our flagship programs is a regional team. So that would be a constant thing. So we will assemble a team that will be in charge for each region, and that would just work throughout the whole year. Itu sih. Hopefully that answers your question, Rana.
Next one is from Sharon. How many hours per week are typically allocated by an officer per PERMIAS matters? Michelle, can you?
Yeah,
Because I have my own unpopular opinion, so I'll let you go first.
Okay, I'll be the rational opinion here. Okay, so we realize that PERMIAS Nasional still is a student organization, and as much as possible, we want all of our officers to always balance between their academics, their social life, and also PERMIAS. So mainly within a week, you would have your own department meetings, and then aside from that, for the whole of PERMIAS Nasional, we'll have monthly meetings for the upcoming year. So it will be called the all hands meeting. So everyone will meet together every month to discuss each department specific updates. And then if you're a director, then you have an additional meeting bi-weekly. So I don't think we can really allocate it into hours, but a good amount would probably be like about 3 to 4 hours dedicated to actual meetings per week. That's the most that it could be for meetings. But that doesn't include, the planning and all the other resources outside of meetings. Now Harun can hop in.
Turns out my unpopular opinion is popular enough, at least for Michelle. So jadi pretty much what I'm trying to say is pretty much the same. Jadi I have my experience as Corwil and also as director of HR in the previous administrations. What I can say adalah tiap departemen tuh punya punya quote-unquote kesibukannya sendiri-sendiri, dan itu kayak I kind of disagree if we want to put it into hours gitu loh, karena kayak for example I was in HR, I was really heavy. I put all the hours that I have in the summer for PERMIAS untuk recruitment. Jadi itu emang beratnya jadi HR gitu kan. Jadi kita berat di rekrutmen di awal, tapi kemudian kita kayak cuman just 2 or 3 hours per week for the whole administration, karena basically all the things that we did is just recurring things kayak evaluation, appreciation and stuff. Itu basically di HR gitu kan. But for other departments, say like events gitu. Events kan mereka juga punya satu event gede yang ditaruh di tengah, either di tengah atau di akhir gitu kan. Probably the planning will be like 2 or 3 hours, tapi kemudian kayak makin menuju kegiatan makin naik gitu kan, makin banyak persiapannya. So if we put it in average, I agree probably 3 or 4 hours per week. Tapi kalau misalnya dilihat lagi lebih spesifik, it's pretty dependent to which departments are you in. Also another example is partnership. If you can see earlier, partnership itu punya key functions untuk scouting all year long partnership with PERMIAS. So it's a constant function. Jadi kayak akan itu terus aja gitu. Probably you put like 3-4 hours per week untuk kayak developing connections and etc. gitu-gitu aja. So, but again, it really depends on which departments are you in, and what are the programs that are envisioned in that department. But the thing is, again, we want to highlight the well-being of all PERMIAS national officers. We don't want to stress you out just for this PERMIAS thing, because it's just like another club or organizations that you have on campus. So we don't kayak if you don't have like additional responsibilities, maksudnya kayak if you are like the head of something in PERMIAS Nasional, then you will not have that like very heavy workload di PERMIAS. That's what I can say. Thank you, Sharon, for the question. Yeah, it's a pretty recurring question sih, banyak yang nanya juga tentang hal ini. So thank you for the clarifications.
And then another question from Wasito. Thank you. I love this question. So how do you like being professors? We'd like to hear your stories. Mungkin Harun, do you want to take the floor first?
Well, I mean, as I said earlier, I was in PERMIAS Nasional for 1.5 years, and this one will be my next 1 year. So it will be in total I will be in PERMIAS Nasional for 2.5 years. Pertama, I become the Corwil of Midwest 1, which covers Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky, and those area. The next one, I became the co-director of HRD. It's definitely fun. I get to be honest, I'm a PhD student now, so my main reason to do PERMIAS is actually to distract me from my research, because what I do is just research all day long. So this is just a good distraction for my research, to be honest. Yeah, but the connection is fun. It will be a long relationship if you can kayak bisa manfaatin banget. Itu akan menjadi koneksi yang sangat berharga banget. And definitely one other perk is that if you go to a certain cities that has PERMIAS officers in it, your life will be a lot easier in that city gitu sih, karena pasti ada teman yang ngebantuin juga untuk ada di situ gitu kan. So that's the thing sih. But the not really good part is like if you, karena kita kan sekarang ya meskipun udah transition to more in-person things, udah lewat masa COVID yang parah banget, having again kayak US-wide organizations itu sangat berat untuk menjalin komunikasi yang benar-benar proper gitu loh. that's what we want to highlight too. Makanya kita berusaha sebisa mungkin untuk memperbanyak event-event in person di antara officers dan chapters dan semua organisasi yang ada di US gitu sih. Karena to be honest, for me personally, if not because of PERMIAS Nasional, I will not go anywhere. Jadi kayak itu salah satu alasan untuk keluar apartemen itu juga gara-gara PERMIAS juga gitu loh. And yeah, that's from me. The perks and the disadvantages kalau misalnya nggak dimanfaatkan gitu.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Harun mentioned. And fun fact, guys, kayak me and Harun entered PERMIAS National around the same time. So we were both koordinator wilayah. I was koordinator wilayah of West Coast 2, and Harun was koordinator wilayah of Midwest. So that was funny because we both started from there, and now it's our we already spent 1.5 years at PERMIAS National, and we're still here. So I think that says a lot about our experiences here. I personally learned a lot di PERMIAS Nasional, and I got to meet like a lot of people who I see as my role model, who really shaped me into the person that I am today. If it hadn't been for PERMIAS, I don't think I would have been able to be where I am today, like Harun mentioned. Dan juga it's like something that you won't be able to do once you're already you've entered the professional period of your life, you know. This is the time where you get to make friends. At the same time, you also get to learn and also grow. And I think the connections that you make throughout PERMIAS Nasional is not just koneksi buat kenalan gitu, but this is like some of the people you meet might actually be your lifelong friends gitu, and you get to learn who you're able to work with, what type of people you work best with, and things like that. And that also helps when you're trying to enter the professional world. And then I think probably the disadvantage, like Harun mentioned, is that this is a very spread out organization. Unlike the smaller chapters where they're based in one city and they can meet up with one another so easily and form closer connections faster. But I do hope that in the upcoming year, despite the distances, that we could also try our best to achieve that. I hope that by having all hands meeting each month, we could all at least know one another, and also through our social mixers from the HR team, we could actually get to know one another interdepartmentally. Jadi hopefully we can try to achieve that in the upcoming year. Also, something that I am personally very excited about, and I know all of our officers will be excited about, is internal retreat. It will be in person, so hopefully we can meet one another then, if you guys do become PERMIAS National officers. Maybe since we have a few PERMIAS officers here with us right now, maybe we can call out a few who wants to share of their experiences. Mungkin
Kita panggil based on apa nih? Based on senioritas, lama-lamaan di PERMIAS apa gimana nih? Soalnya ada yang datangnya selama kita juga.
boleh tuh, siapa tuh? Selma.
Nah, Sel, are you there?
Yes, I am. Tadi gue udah feeling nih pas bilang senior. Aduh. Bentar ya, let me turn on my video juga. Okay, it's kind of dark right now for me, but hello everyone. My name is Selma. I'm currently the Director of Partnerships for this year. So if you're interested in partnerships or you have any questions, feel free to ask me questions. Selain itu, I started PERMIAS actually in UW-Madison. I did my undergrad there and I studied material science and engineering. I was secretary, I was also president. Terus akhirnya sempat masuk di org dev back when we still had org dev like 2 years ago. And then last year I was an HRD with Mas Harun. Jadi kita ngurus recruitment segala macam. So I know how exciting this whole process is, but also like how much work goes into it. And this year I'm really happy to be in partnerships because I personally really like working with people and also just extra partners of PERMIAS. And I think it's always really fun to get to know other people. And yeah, I'm currently in Atlanta, and I think, I don't know if people from Atlanta are here right now, but I know among the people who applied, some people do live in Atlanta. So I'm definitely down to meet with anyone who lives nearby. Yeah.
Yeah, take pride. Ya, itu sih. Other, mungkin other sample. Sample. Or I think we can continue dulu kali ya.
Yeah.
Oke, iya. So dari Rana ada lagi, can we choose 3 department preferences for PERMIAS officer or only one? And is there any possibility that the applicant could be assigned to different department that they applied to their qualifications? Okay, so since our HRD director is here, so I think we can direct it to her. So Aurel, please.
Hello everyone, kedengeran nggak?
All good.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so for the answer to that question is that yes, you would be given you're gonna be allowed to choose 3 different departments, as if you have seen the form, there's choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. And then also yes, you may be directed according to your like, did she say abilities, or she said, what did she say?
Qualifications.
Qualifications, yes. You will be directed, but we would try our best to prioritize your choices, because we feel that if you like the department you are in, you will work, or like have a better experience at the same time, and also be more efficient. And because if you see our size, or our plant size this year, we are downsizing from last year. That makes sense. So we're trying to get people in the right department with the right directors. And so that's so the condition will be good for everyone for the whole year. Is that everything?
Yeah, and maybe, Rao, do you want to highlight the timeline that we have for this matter?
Oh, yeah, of course. So currently we have info session July 23rd. The current application deadline is on July 26th. As you can see, we have interview round 1, which is on July 29th to August 2nd, and invitation to round 2 interview. So round 2 interview is basically when you are already considered that you are a good candidate as an officer of PERMIAS Nasional itself, but we think that you would not be a great match for the particular department. We may move you to another department based on your qualifications, or if that also fits your other choices of departments. And then it will be on August 4th to August 7th, and then the results will come out. So I hope that answered the question from Rana.
Yep, definitely. Thank you, Michelle. Kok Michelle, Aurel. Another question dari Rana. Yeah. Koordinator wilayah. Oh, it's both of us. It was. Is it different application to be one? Do you mind sharing how you could be chosen? Probably I can say from my end dulu kali ya. So koordinator wilayah, it's basically a position that is not really part of PERMIAS Nasional, but it is required from PERMIAS Nasional ADART. Jadi dia itu adalah sebuah they're kind of like the senators, kalau misalnya di Indonesia berarti mereka kayak DPD-nya gitu, Dewan Perwakilan Daerah gitu. So PERMIAS Nasional dari sisi region itu kan dibagi menjadi 9 region. East Coast 1, 2, 3, Midwest 1, 2, Southwest, dan West Coast 1, 2, 3. If you want to know more about kayak the regions and stuff, it's available in our PERMIAS National website. Go to permiasnational.com, then go to about us, go to overview about us, terus itu nanti di sana ada, di bagian agak scroll ke bawah dikit ada ADART. Nanti kalau nggak salah di pasal belasan gitu, 13-14 gitu ada kayak jabaran tentang koordinator wilayah dan wilayah-wilayahnya itu kayak gimana. So PERMIAS wilayah is actually like kind of the senator of the PERMIAS Nasional from each region, untuk menjadi kayak ngewakilin chapters ke, bukan menjadi officernya PERMIAS Nasional, tapi kayak ngebantu sebagai perpanjangan tangan PERMIAS Nasional ke chapter dan chapter ke PERMIAS Nasional gitu. Mereka penghubungnya. So from my experience, from what I did, I was coordinator wilayah for Midwest 1 2 tahun yang lalu. So what I'm doing is basically become the connector between PERMIAS in Midwest satu area, which is Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, and Missouri. Nah, itu kayak kalau misalnya mereka ada apa-apa butuh bantuan, I can look it up to PERMIAS Nasional. Kalau PERMIAS Nasional bisa bantu, then I will connect PERMIAS Nasional to those chapters. Dan juga kalau misalnya PERMIAS Nasional punya acara and they want to connect with all those chapters, they can go to koordinator wilayah. So it's not selected by application like this. We will have separate process to do that, but that process is mainly in the chapter's leadership, gitu sih. Jadi we don't open the application, we just have a discussion with the PERMIAS chapters in all region to decide like, oh, which one will be the koordinator wilayah, gitu sih.
And maybe I can add in my perspective because coincidentally, I was director of Koordinator Wilayah last year. And what we learned and what we wanted to improve on was that kayak communication antara chapter tuh bisa lebih improve kalau we have kayak meetings with clear agendas and everything each time gitu. So for the upcoming year, we do realize that the most efficient way to actually form this communication is if we have someone from already a PERMIAS chapter to be the coordinator wilayah, because that way communication will be more efficient in the sense that kayak that person already knows most of the people in that region, and so communication lebih lancar gitu sih. Jadi planningnya tuh will have kayak meetings with the chapters in each region, and hopefully from there we can appoint one current officer to become the coordinator wilayah. So that's how coordinator wilayah will work for the upcoming year.
Yep.
Thank you, Rana.
Thank you for the questions. Ada lagi mungkin? Kalau enggak, I want to sambil nunggu ya, I want to highlight one thing sih. So ada beberapa juga yang di luar juga nanya tentang sebenarnya gimana sih hubungan antara PERMIAS Nasional dan PERMIAS Chapters gitu. Jadi each region atau sekolah itu mereka punya PERMIAS Chapternya masing-masing gitu. So say di UIUC, my school itu mereka punya PERMIAS UIUC gitu. Dan di Chicago mereka punya PERMIAS Chicago gitu. Dan itu PERMIAS Chicago itu mengcover kayak beberapa sekolah. Jadi ada dua tipe PERMIAS Chapters gitu kan. PERMIAS Chapters yang dia itu based on the school, ada PERMIAS Chapter yang based on region gitu. Yang school itu kayak PERMIAS UIUC, PERMIAS Minnesota, kayak IPSA, Bruins Student Association yang di UCLA, kayak kalau yang wilayah itu yang kayak PERMIAS LA, PERMIAS Chicago, PERMIAS SFBA, PERMIAS Seattle, PERMIAS NYC, itu semuanya yang berbasis region gitu. Dan mereka sesama chapter. Dan hubungannya ke kita adalah kita itu partnernya mereka. Jadi kita itu kayak semacam memayungi mereka, tapi tidak juga hubungannya itu kayak kita sampai nyuruh mereka gitu, enggak. So it's all partnership. Kalau misalnya dianalogikan kayak US ya mirip sama hubungan antara federal dan state sih, bisa dibilang. Jadi kayak hubungannya tuh nggak membawahi, tapi lebih ke partner aja, kayak gitu. Hopefully it clears up a few things about PERMIAS Nasional. So memang kita punya our own agenda, as in we have all our events and everything yang mau kita kerjain. But also another kayak fokus kita yang lain itu adalah mencoba sudah mungkin menjadi partner yang baik untuk PERMIAS chapters gitu. Jadi kalau misalnya chapters butuh apa-apa, kasih tahu kita. Kalau misalnya kita bisa bantu, kita akan bantu. Kalau enggak, kita akan direct ke orang lain yang bisa ngebantuin gitu. That is all sih. Is there any other question probably, or did we miss something?
I don't think there are any more questions right now in the chat box. If anyone has any more questions, you can type it down. But if not, yeah, thank you for attending. So this
Foto.
So, oh,
Foto dong.
okay. Okay. Gimana ya? So yeah, we're gonna take picture now. If anyone's down to open their camera, that would be really great.
Should I stop recording now? I think I should.